All right. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you for being patient. I am here. I'm gonna take myself to my office now. Let me just get my little bag together. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. So let me get myself together. I was actually finishing up my homework. I'm currently in school for my doctorate's degree, human services, concentration leadership, and organizational management. So in my spiritual, capacity and in the matrix, what I do kind of aligns. Everything I do aligns with like helping people, mentoring people, guiding people, um, just kind of giving good advice and steering people in the right way. It's kind of my gift that I have. Um, I'm gonna ask everybody right now to make sure that you're following me. If you're listening to this in real time or on a replay, I'm just gonna ask that you go ahead and follow me. Follow me on here on Clubhouse. Also, follow me on every platform that you're on. Instagram. I'm currently on TikTok right now, trying to make TikToks, y'all. But yeah. So just kind of support me, and I'll appreciate that. I have really insightful content, and I'm just trying to get more consistent with being out here in these streets. All right, what else do I need to get myself downstairs? So I'm currently in my bedroom right now on the third floor. I got an office on the first floor. That's where I'm trying to make my way down. But I want to make sure that I have everything I need. So once I get into it, I'm not getting back up until it's over. Um, I went live like 2 in the morning. No, like 1 o'clock in the morning this morning, and had a really good reading. So if you want to double back and listen to that replay, it's still available. And I also downloaded it, and it's available on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, and I was just, you know, giving a message underneath the waning in Pisces right now. Uh, just trying to stay aligned and guided with the moon cycle, and that seems to be working out pretty good. And this one is going to be on the waning moon in Aries. Um, the moon is currently waning, moving into the new moon. So just the process of the cycles, that the moon goes through. So waning moon in Aries is what we're going to get into, and it's going to be in that zodiac for a couple of days, and then it's going to move into Taurus or something, I believe. So I just definitely think that with each phase, in time that passes, I feel like there's just certain opportunities and things that we can kind of act on. And we can use tarot and any other intuitive or clairvoyant skill and resource and tool to kind of help guide us to where we need to go. Um, Also, really important to be strongly self aware. A lot of us don't want to focus on ourselves. When situations come up where things don't go our way, we love to say that it's somebody else's fault, or we didn't do this because we didn't have this, or we couldn't obtain this, or we weren't born with that, or and we don't even realize it, but we're being victims. We're we're having this victim mentality when we say and think things like that. So obstacles and challenges, that's a part of life. That's not going to change. That's not going to stop. That's the cycle. That's the circle of life. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. It's how you respond, how you react to these ups and downs and these challenges in life that's going to determine where your journey's going and how it's going to end. So that's extremely important. I'm really big on just being extremely aware of yourself, the good and the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, just everything about you. How do you respond to people? How do you connect with people? And I assure you, the more that you get in tune with yourself, You know, the more successful you will be, whatever that means for you in life, the quality of life you want, the relationships of life you want. You want to be financially abundant. Um, all of that coincides with you focusing on yourself and just building yourself up. Character development, emotional development, spiritual development, physical health, wealth. You know, health is wealth. So all of those things kind of tie in. All right. So what else do I want to say? Urban Mystic TV. Feel free to follow me on YouTube, Urban Mystic TV, where I'll be downloading these. I have other readings on there, full moon readings. I also do celebrity psychic readings. So if you ever, want to see what's in the energy of, people that you follow or celebrities that you're into, just let me know and I'll put it on my list to do, okay? I also want everybody to know that um, I do have products and services. And one in particular that I do to kind of help the collective is I do a community money attraction and energy clearing candle work. And I used to just do it once a month, but I try to burn the candles like all month long. There might be a couple days where I let things rest, but ultimately there is always a candle burning on my altar to help remove, negative energy from your money attraction, your money energy field, and also to remove negative energy out of your energy field. Now, keep in mind, it is community, but it still works. And you can either work alongside my work and do your own candles, burn it too. At the same time, it's just going to amplify your work. Or you can just rely on that, and that's fine too. So that's community uh, money and the money attraction and energy clearing. It's free for 30 days. It's free for 30 days, and then after 30 days, it's 11/11. Okay, and if you are interested, you can Google me, Unique Divination. You can look at my reviews on my work. And I just posted a link in the chat for that. Okay, you can also click the link in my Instagram bio and go to Community Money Work. What else do I want to talk about before I get into anything? 21 questions. This is a good link too. It's a good resource. It's only $7. And this, is a resource that helps you work within your shadow. A lot of people don't even know what shadow is. Shadow is just that side of yourself that you really don't want to deal with. And, we've got good and bad things in our shadow, right? Bad behaviors and habits that we have that are not aligning with, our higher self. And then we have good things in our shadow that were put there because of society or maybe family belief systems. So, you know, 21 questions, it's exactly what it is. It's 21 questions. Shadow work is broken down into 4 stages. And in each stage, I ask a question that is going to bring about an answer in you to help you pinpoint that particular or certain trauma in your life that, had you put things in your shadow or trying to integrate your shadow. So it's 21 questions. They're simple questions, but sometimes the most simplest things can be the most profound. And if you are doing work, if you're doing the shadow work, you're not just getting readings and hopping on every room or every YouTube channel you see that's got a reading dealing with your zodiac sign, and you're actually taking notes and implementing the things that you're learning, putting it into action, each time that you revisit these questions, because they come in a journal, you can print out the journal too. Your answers should be changing. Your answers should definitely be changing. If your answers are not changing, it's because you're not doing any work. Okay, so 21 questions is a timeless shadow work resource and tool that you can use time and time again. It doesn't matter when, where, how far you are in your developmental growth, your spiritual growth. It'll always be there for you. And it's only $7. It comes with a workshop and it also comes with a journal. And I'm currently working on making 21 questions into a 5-week life coaching program. So the workshop covers all the questions. We walk through it and we talk about it. It was recorded live on Instagram. And the 5-week program is going to focus on each question, and expound, with life coaching with tarot, and just expound on some things. So it's almost done. Um, I think I'm in stage 2, but I might revamp that up here because I've got to close out that program. I have to get the content for it. So I started it on Instagram Live, but I'm really feeling Clubhouse right now. Especially me being an introverted healer and dealing with anxiety, and stuff like that when it comes to social media. So this is a really good tool. And now that I got that out the way, lastly, after I do the Waning Moon in Aries, I will be open to do free readings. Free readings, one question, a general question, or a specific question. I'll allow you to do a follow up question to the cards I pulled, and then we move on. Oh, excuse me. In the event that you want another reading, and I will allow that as long as everybody in the room has had opportunity to get a free reading. So I don't mind doing multiple readings, but you just got to wait your turn. And lastly, um, I am accepting donations. It's not a requirement, but it is greatly appreciated because I do expend a lot of energy when I do these readings. Um, you know, and it's a lot. So yeah, definitely accept donations. I put everything that I want you guys to look at, um, in the chat conversation, and I'm currently going to start my full moon, full moon, waning moon, and Aries reading. So I'll pretty much be focused at this point once I pull these cards. I'll try to look at the chat here and there, but I'm just going to be kind of zoned in. Like I said, after the reading, if you're interested in getting a free reading, by all means, we can go ahead and do that, okay? So basically, the waning moon. The moon has cycles, we know: waning, new moon, waxing, full moon, with some more detailed uh, cycles in between. Crescent moon, dissipating. So there's different ones, but I like to keep things simple and keep things general. So we're just going to be focusing on the 4 cycles, right? And so the full moon helps amplify any work that we need to do. The full moon, pretty much, we can take on any work with the full moon, attracting things, releasing things, and waxing is the same thing. The waxing cycle is the build up towards the full moon, and that allows us to attract as well. We want to do things and focus on attracting energy or intents during the waxing moon. The waning moon is about releasing, letting go. Releasing and letting go. The waning moon is about releasing and letting go, right? And then the new moon is about creating new habits and patterns, accepting new ways of thinking, new processes, your paradigm shift, all things new. That's what the new moon represents: a new start, new outlook, new perspective. Anything new that you want to usher in or you want to focus on, you would want to make that intent strong, or, around underneath the new moon. I also have new moon ritual. I think it's free, the new moon one. If you go to my link in my bio, I have a free tool, a free resource that you can do to help you do a small new moon ritual, nothing major. I know sometimes people hear the word ritual and they get scared, but a ritual is literally something that you just do over and over. We do several rituals in our life. We go to work. That's one. Certain things that we do throughout our life, throughout our day, consist of rituals, patterns. Patterns are rituals, So, yeah, it's just something small to kind of help you usher in or teach you how to focus on ushering in the new things that you want underneath the new moon. So it's really important, and it's really beneficial if you're interested in that. Okay. And so now we understand that the waning moon represents releasing and letting go. Aries, okay. Aries, the zodiac sign Aries, to me, my perspective, my opinion is that Aries is a very driven sign, very headstrong sign. It's animal representation is a ram, kind of head into things first without really thinking. Um, so Aries is a very action driven sign. And so with that being said, the waning moon in Aries, there are things that we need to do that are very headstrong, that are very action geared, but it's not helping. We need to release it, you know. Um, I'm an Aries. Oh wow, Mildred, that's beautiful. That's awesome. So this is especially gonna be for you, love. That's dope. Um, yeah, so there are just some things that we're doing. There's some behavior patterns. There's things that we're speaking on. We're just kind of acting first before we're giving complete thought into it. And that's where we need to pause a little bit, okay? And so um, I'm just setting the theme. I haven't pulled any cards yet. I'm just speaking on the theme and the direction of where this reading, the waning moon in Aries, is going to go. Okay, so we understand that there are behavior patterns. There are things that we're doing that we have to let go, just being too headstrong. Um, Always wanting to move for people that will not move for you. Let's take a different perspective on that. Let's just look at that Aries energy in its all of its totality, all of its layers and levels and representations. And so moving on things too quickly, always being the first to move. You don't have to show your loyalty and your love to somebody by always putting yourself out there doing things first. You're not even allowing the other person to do things to see how loyal they are and what they about, and how much they willing to ride. And this is in regards to all relationships. When I talk about things, I'm hitting each layer of relationship in your life, whether it be romantic, whether it be at work, whether it be with a friend, your parents, your children. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're putting yourself out there too much for people that it's a question mark right now. I'm not going to say they wouldn't do it for you, but you're not even giving these people the opportunity to show themselves because you just keep doing things. So let's relax a little bit. Let's relax. Let's slow down. Let's stop always willing to jump into things. Like I said, rams, they headbutt. They just automatically. So let's try to control our mind. Let's try to control our actions and what we do. And it takes a lot to gain control over yourself and your emotions. It's a very strong thing that a lot of people can't do. There's a lot of people out here that cannot control their emotions, and that's why they end up in jail, or in unfortunate situations because they cannot control their emotions. They're too angry, too sad, too happy. Like there's so many different range of emotions that if you don't control them, they're not going to manifest out well, in action in real time. Okay, so it's very important, Aries. That's a fire sign. So you always ready for action, and you can't always allow yourself to be riled up like that, right? So this Aries energy is telling us to release and let go, and a lot of things that we're getting ourselves worked up for is our own fault because 9 times out of the 10, you ain't even supposed to be doing half of what you're doing. You're just doing the most right now, right? And so that's the energy that we want to release. We want to release that energy of just doing the most, just doing extremely too much for not the same energy in return or, equal or more value. And then you're left burnt out, and then you're sitting there wondering why you're burnt out. Why are you mentally stressed? You know, sex drive gone. Not enjoying anything, no passion in life for anything. because we're continuing to just put our energy and just go ride or die for people that it's a question mark whether they would do the same. And that's just the reality of it. So, what else can I touch on? Oh, Aries. Aries is a dynamic manifestation type energy. So that means that things may appear like a hit or miss for you, right? Um, Maybe you are working on trying to release certain things, and then sometimes it's been blown up in your face, or you think it's blown up in your face. Just continue, stop counting, how it, you have to look at things like a lifestyle. When you release and let go of things, you have to look at it as a lifestyle. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. If you're going to have back falls or backslides or whatever they're called, like, you're going to lose your step a little bit, you're going to lose your footing, but as long as you gain it back and continue to move forward, everything will be okay. Just to share a little bit about myself, about almost 2 years ago, I was 221 pounds, y'all, and I'm 5'3". I'm 5'3", 221 pounds. So I was in a real dark place in my life where I ended up just gaining a lot of weight. And at some point, I got tired of carrying all that weight, and I said, I want to change in my life. But certain things had to take place in order for me to get where I'm at right now, which is currently 165, 170. I had to go through a process, and the first process that I had to go through was understanding and stop looking at my weight loss as a diet. It was a lifestyle. So that was the first thing that had to happen. I had to change my thought process. It's a lifestyle. The things that you're doing is not, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. Once you start shifting your thought process and understanding that it's a way of living what you're doing in life, what you're incorporating, you're not gonna not want to do it, right? You're gonna enjoy doing it because you're not looking at it as a duty or forcing yourself. It's a way of life. It's how you live in. And it's the quality of life you want. And so it should be enjoyable. So we got to change our thought process about things that we're implementing. That's first and foremost. That's the strongest battle that you have to go through, is the battle of your own mind and just reprogramming your mind. Secondly, you have to look at mistakes, as lessons, right? You messed up. I messed up a couple times. There were days where I would just binge eat because I don't know, I was just going through something. Losing the weight, I would be stressed, and then I would just eat a lot, and then I would feel bad and be depressed after. And I had to walk myself through those moments and say, Unique, it's okay. You messed up a little bit. Your discipline wasn't as strong this go round. But guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. And that leads me into the third thing that we have to understand. Tomorrow's a new day. Every day you go to sleep and you wake up, you thank God for taking that breath and being here in order to try over and start over and make a different action than you did yesterday regarding that situation. And so those are three really important things to understand. So yeah, you're gonna miss the mark sometimes. You're gonna miss the mark. But when you miss the mark, if you want to be sad for a little bit. It's okay to express feelings and emotions, but we can't stay in that place for a long time. So be sad. All right, damn, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I didn't make it. And that brings me to another point. Like, did you set the bar too high? Sometimes we set our standards too high, and that's how we self sabotage. So don't set the bar high, set the bar low when you're trying to do things and implement new lifestyle changes. Set the bar low, because it's better than what you was doing before. Because before you weren't doing anything, and now you have a goal. So it doesn't matter how small the goal is or how low the bar is, as long as you're completing processes, you're completing goals, and it's getting you closer to whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or succeed in, right? Or complete. So set the bar low when you want to implement lifestyle changes. It's okay. I know y'all probably never heard nobody say that before, because everybody wants you to think that oh my God, just take on all of these things, and just know you are literally setting yourself up for failure. Literally setting yourself up for failure if you think that you're going to take on everything. Humans do not like change. Humans do not like change. If we look back at society, at world history, our country's history, whatever, humans do not like change. You have to implement change slowly but surely for human beings, or we're going to bust our heads open. Our heads are going to explode, literally. And so, understanding that, be gentle with yourself and the mistakes that you made, and understand that change is hard. And if you can adapt and move forward, then you're doing really good, because society, group think, the hive mind, people are not trying to change. They just want to see famous people on TV and just praise them for what they're doing, right? But if we really think about it, America is one of the most obese countries in the world. We're gluttonous. We don't have accountability, responsibility. We're ungrateful. We waste. We waste food. We consume like almost 3/4 of the world's resources. We got a lot of stuff with us, individually, as an American, or, whatever country you represent. There's a lot of layers. And so, with that being said, just be gentle with yourself. So, that is kind of the introduction or the theme of this reading that I'm getting ready to get into. That is what Waning Moon in Aries is representing. That's the energy that we are going to have to release. Fear of making mistakes, beating ourselves up, jumping headfirst into things without thinking about it, looking at things as a lifestyle, releasing bad patterns, habits, and behaviors that no longer serve where we're trying to go, and being gentle with ourselves along the way, right? So let me do some shuffling. And one just flew out, so we're going to let that rock right here. We have another one here. We actually have, there we go. All right, so I've got all my tarot. I'm going to expand on the tarot for a little bit. I'm going to pick some oracle cards to go with it, but right now I want to focus on my tarot. I currently work with the Hermetic deck. It's a black and white deck, but the visuals, the imagery on these cards are phenomenal. So it's one of my favorite decks, and I connect the most with this deck, besides the one that I created, Urban Mystic Tarot. So I have King of Swords, I have Knight of Cups reversed, and I have the Universe. And so before I even get into that, I have some notes over here about careers. I want to focus on the careers of these cards, right? And what if people are out there doubting um, what they need to let go of, right? Because it's all about releasing this reading. So I want to see what careers are attached to these cards, because maybe the career that you're in is not the right one right now, and you need to release from it. So I just want to point that out for anybody who's watching this in real time or will watch this on a replay. So let me look up King of Swords. Where's my Kings? King of Swords. So King of Swords deals with a chef, a surgeon, a lawyer, or a professional man. Somebody's corporate. So I feel like, anybody attached to those professions or those career right now are really questioning, you know, is this what they really want to do? And they may have another passion that they want to get into, but they've been locked into these careers. So if you are in any of those professions, you may want to, just kind of listen, make sure you listen to the whole reading. And then we have Knight. Where's my Knight? Knight of Cups. We have writer, poet, uh, musician, healthcare provider for the Knight of Cups. So anybody out there under the profession of writer, poet, musician, healthcare provider, you're currently questioning, is this what you want to do? Do I want to walk away from this? Or even another question for the King of Swords too. What are you not doing to further or to make your career something that you want to do? Because I get a kind of a question hazy. I don't feel like, these professions that are coming up are maybe something that you want to necessarily walk away from, but maybe you've just lost the passion, or you don't know which direction to go or what to do to kind of bring back that fulfillment that you once got in this career profession. All right, and then lastly, we have the Universe card. And this deals with careers in government, land and natural. So, again, speaking on the fact, a career in government, dealing in an agency that deals with land and nature. Maybe there are policies and regulations that just really don't align with your morals and ethics, in regards to the career path that you've chosen. So, what can you do to make your mark, in the government realm? That's a lot of wire and tape to get through when we think about the government, especially federal, right? It's a lot of things. So that's just interesting. I just want to kind of expound on that. Um, yeah, so we have the King of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups reversed, and then we have the Universe reversed. So, you know, the King of Swords is upright, the Knight of Cups and the Universe is reversed. So this is telling me that we are coming, with a certain energy when it comes to trying to walk away from these things that no longer serve us any purpose, as identified, just understanding what waning moon and Aries is. So we're coming with a certain type energy, right? We're here. The king is about, that's the greatest wisdom you can get. We're looking at things in real time. We're reading between the lines. At this point, we're not looking at things from a fantasy or an idealistic perspective. And if you are, this is your confirmation or your calling for you to stop. Whatever fantasy you're living in, whether it be about your relationship, romantic relationship, whether it be about your job, what's your value there, whether it be in value in friendships that you hold, or family members, your parents, your kids. um, you've acquired a certain level of wisdom, right? And so with that being said, you have a certain level of understanding, and it's now time to move forward in that wisdom that you've obtained. um, observing observing people's actions, man. Do their actions align with what comes out of their mouth? Do their actions align with what comes out of their mouth? Right? So we've been observing people. We've been observing their communication, how they respond to us, how we respond to them. And you've acquired a certain level of, growth and development as a result of this, you know? And not everybody's gonna be there. Not everybody's gonna be on the same developmental path that you are, on the same level. And sometimes it's going to be close people around you, friends and family, that are not going to be on the same path that you are. And it's going to hurt. You're going to feel like an alien. You're going to feel like an alien. You're going to feel like nobody understands you. You're going to feel like, it just, it's going to be a weird place in your life. All right. So just understand with this growth and this development, it's going to come a little bit of isolation. A little bit of isolation, but it's the requirement right now. You will find like spirits, but right now, because you're going through that phase, and you're still in the transition, you're still transitioning into the paradigm that you're trying to create for yourself. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot. So just kind of understand that, with that level of knowledge and wisdom, there's going to be people that no longer really understand you. And on this card, there's two zodiac signs. It's Capricorn and Aquarius. And it's funny how they're paired together because that's literally the succession of them, when it comes to the zodiac. It's Capricorn, who ends the year, and the beginning of the year is Capricorn, and then the next sign is Aquarius. And so it's a process that we need to understand when it comes to Capricorn energy and Aquarius energy. Both of these signs don't give a damn about anybody's feelings. Both of these signs do not give a damn about anybody's feelings. They just worrying about their goals and what they need to do in life. In two different ways. Capricorn is goal driven and just wants to succeed, right? That's just their passion to just do things and complete them. And then Aquarius is just focused on being an individual and not being a part of groupthink or a hive mind, right? Um, Letting people know that they're very smart, very intellectually, and they can hold their own, and they don't need anybody else. And so those are the two reasons why Capricorn and Aquarius do not give a damn about other people. They had worrying about other things on different aspects, right? And so we need to understand that. Um, right now, the only support that you can get is spiritual support. There's nobody right now in your environment and your atmosphere, unfortunately, that is equipped or that is equal to you in your vibration and your frequency. Okay? This is for the people here. This is for the replay. Understand that. Understand that. And sometimes that gets lonely. But there is nobody right now. There is nobody equipped to match your vibration, your energy. And so the only people that can help you is yourself and your spirit guides and your ancestors and your higher power, your God. That's the only people you can lean on right now. And that might hurt. That might hurt, but let's get it out in the open now so that you can understand that you keep leaning on people that don't even have the ability to help you. And then you want to get mad at them. You are so much more greater than you know you are. You can handle so many things, and yet you continue to deflect and reach out to people that can't even help you and then get upset about it. Look at people for who they are and understand who you are. And it's not demeaning anybody, but everybody ain't on the same level. And it is what it is. And there's not a lot of people out there that want great things. It's a lot of subpar people. And that's not even like, I got to think of a better way to say that. It's just a lot of people that live in a bubble and they don't want to do no more, no less. They just want to exist. And that's okay too. Everybody is at a different level, in this collective consciousness right now. And just we're understanding and we're just bringing all this up, not to pass judgment, but just to be aware of what we're dealing with, because you have to know what you're dealing with. You can't be oblivious to this. And so that is an issue that the general population are not driven and motivated to actually fulfill their dreams. Their dreams are crushed early on. And that's why we love celebrities so much and successful people, because whatever have you, they work towards fulfilling their goals and their dreams. You hear all the time successful people talk about how they dreamt about doing this since they was a little kid. So to fulfill a childhood goal or fantasy is an extraordinary thing. And not a lot of people do it. So just take the time to acknowledge where you're at intellectually, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in your personal and professional development, and pat yourself on the back, because not everybody has made it as far as you. And that's not a dig to them, but we focused on you and your life and your story and what you're here to do. Okay? And so, yeah, the King of Swords, can't nobody help you but you right now. And your ancestors, your whole spiritual team, those are the only people that can match you right now and that can support you. So you're going to have to learn how to do a lot of self-love, self-validation, self-motivation. A lot of that's going to have to come from within, but it's coming from a place of collective consciousness where we really just don't understand that, right? And so King of Swords is put us in a place where we're looking down at some people. We're looking down because a lot of people are not on that level. And then we look up and it's only a few people up. And if you find people that you can learn from, keep them in your circle if you can. Because you're not going to meet a lot of people, at least right now, that are going to be able to guide you and help you. Like I said, all your support is going to come from the spiritual realm right now. And that's okay. That's just part of the journey. And that's just where we're at right now. So the next card, Knight of Cups. And so the knight represents a movement and traveling. The knight represents walking away from things. And remember, this is waning moon in Aries. This reading is based off of waning moon, which is representation of letting go. This Knight of Cups, he's walking away. And guess what's on this card again? Guess what zodiac pops up? Aquarius. We've got Aquarius and Pisces on this card. And again, Aquarius is there to bring us a different perspective about our emotions. I don't know if you guys know a lot of Aquarius people or know anything about the Aquarius sign, but they can come off as lacking emotion. They use their mind a lot, and so they sometimes make choices and decisions. A lot of the things that they do are based on their mind and not their heart. And so I feel like Aquarius shows up on the Knight of Cups right now because it's telling us to stop being in our heart so much. Number one, our heart chakra is not even balanced. We've got so much damage in our hearts from childhood trauma, from relationships, from not having self-love, that I don't even know why you would try to make a decision from your heart. That would not be um, beneficial to the things that you're trying to do in life. Your heart is just going to throw you off right now because it's hurting, it's damaged. The dopamines that you once felt pertaining to your heart in certain situations, your heart is still trying to take you to those places. And again, we're in waning in Aries. We want to release things that are no longer serving us purpose. Maybe, we were romantically involved with somebody and they always had us riled up emotionally. What is that doing for your heart to always be riled up emotionally, always on 10 emotionally, whether it be sad, happy, angry? Like there's no balance. One day you're happy, the next minute you're sad, the next minute you're angry. Like if your partner is taking you through 125 different ranges of emotions, that's crazy. And think about what that's doing for your heart. Or in retrospect, if you're the person doing that, are you taking somebody through 125 different range of emotions within an hour or a day? That is wild. And that screams somebody who needs mental and professional help. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I will be a doctor of human services in about 2 years. Hey. But yeah, disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional, anything, doctor, anything in the medical field. But I do know that someone who is angry and then sad and then happy and then mad and then excited and surprised, right? Within a certain short period of time, that is really not viewed societal wise as normal. Okay, that's a lot for somebody to have to go through. That's a lot for somebody to go through within themselves. But then if you're taking somebody else through it, just imagine the mental chaos between that relationship or those people, or even if it's a work environment. Just imagine Having a boss or a coworker or an employee that's always angry, miserable. Imagine going to work every day and everybody there was angry or sad. How do you think that's going to affect you, right? It's all about our environment and our frequency. And we are here to feel emotions, but we're not here to just latch onto them and not release them and let go. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry and upset, but these are not things that we should hold on to. They make us bitter, right? Definitely things that we should not hold on to. So, Knight of Cups is telling us that we need to walk away from emotions that no longer serve us purpose. We need to let them go, stop holding on to them. And right now, we can't listen to our heart because our heart is damaged. We don't know what our heart wants right now because we have to mend it. We have to repair it. And we repair it by revisiting our shadow. What things hurt us in the past? What triggers us? What are our triggers and why are we triggered? And again, that's where my shadow work material, 21 questions, comes into play. This helps us heal our heart, right? So just go back in the chat and just click on one of those links. It says 21 questions if you're interested, okay? It's only $7. It'll be the greatest investment that you've done for $7, I assure you. So yeah. And then we've got Pisces. We've got Pisces on this Knight of Cups card, and Pisces is always a representation of sacrificing things. You've got a lot that you've got to work on. I would definitely write out a list, a let go list, things I need to let go. And I would look at that list every day. And I'm going to tell you now, it came up yesterday too. Pisces came up in the earlier reading that I did, and it was waning in Pisces, I believe. Sacrifices, the things that you have to let go. What's crazy is they give you a lot of dopamine release. Dopamine is a chemical that your brain releases that tells you that you feel good when certain situations happen, or you give yourself certain things, or you do certain things. For instance, sex, food, right? These are things that produce that dopamine, right? And so anything can release dopamine, good things and bad things. Anything can release that dopamine in our brain. So understand that the things that you need to sacrifice, right, to get where it is that you need to go, some of these things make you feel good, right? They release some dopamines, but that don't mean that it's good for you. And that's where we have to draw that line and understanding that some of the things that you enjoy, may not be good for you. And maybe we never really even had that perspective about certain things, right? Um, I know use myself as an example, I get a lot of enjoyment being by myself. I'm an introvert. I don't like people. Now, granted, I'm a leader, I'm a manager in a financial 500 company. But when it comes to social networking and getting out there in the public, uh, really not into it. I'd rather be home, release hella dopamines at home, minding my business. And so that's something I know I need to work on. I find comfort at home, but I know that I need to get out. I need to branch. I need to do things. I need to travel. Right. So understand that there are going to be sacrifices that you have to make in order for you to be the better version of you, in order for you to complete and manifest the things that you want. But these sacrifices, these things that you have to sacrifice, are going to be things that make you feel good. Smoking cigarettes, having sex with that toxic person that we know we're not supposed to be having sex with, but the sex just be hitting. Going to certain places, bars, clubs that we just know we don't really need to be in, but when we go there, they release these dopamines, and then we do things out of habit, and that's how habits are created. Your brain gives off these chemicals, right? And subconsciously, you're going to do anything that you need to do in order for those situations to happen, those things to take place, for those dopamines to be released. Example, drug addicts, alcoholics. We sit there and we judge these people. They are being controlled by the chemicals in our body. And then at some point, like I think meth, it takes away all your dopamines at some point. And so you can't smile no more. You can't even be happy no more because it literally took all your dopamines away. So understand that there may be some things in your life that feel good, but they're just taking your dopamines away. So that's just kind of an interesting perspective. And so the Knight of Cups, again, we've got Aquarius and Pisces on here. We need to walk away from things. We need to stop being so emotional. We need to learn how to control our emotions in order to move forward and do the things that we want to do and be great, right? And then the last tarot card I have is the Universe reversed. And I mean, it's understandable why it's reversed when we're dealing with this Knight of Cups here. This Knight of Cups was reversed too. You know, we're not, we have to really learn how to control our emotions. We have to stop letting other people influence our emotions. And we have to stop blaming people for when we get out of character, right? Get out of that environment. And that's easier said than done. I'm extremely aware. But you're going to do whatever you need to do to get your peace, to get your clarity, to get on the path that you're supposed to be on. And so there are challenges that arise with this reading. Nothing that I'm saying here is just like, oh, let me do these one things just one time. And it's no, this is an ongoing process. This is an ongoing process that we're going to have to go through. So understand that, right? And so if we want to level up, if we want to get to the next level, we're so close, we're right there because I pulled the Universe card. So I just want to acknowledge that you're doing the work. The work is being acknowledged. Spirit understands that you are doing everything. But right now, you know, to what it is that you want in life, the control of your life that you want, you're the main character in your story, in your movie. Don't let nobody else write your script. If you want to be the script writer for your own story, then the things and the obstacles and challenges that you go through are going to be great, right? You're going to be great. Okay? Understand that. Hold on for 1 second. I gotta let my cleaner in. All right, sorry about that. I'm back, y'all. Um, so yeah, the Universe card, and then the zodiacs that are on the Universe card is Taurus and Leo, which is an interesting pairing, and the planet that is on the Universe card is Saturn. Okay, so all my people that are ruled by Saturn understand that. And anybody right now that has Saturn heavy on their charts, the things that you don't, the lessons that you don't learn from, they're going to repeat and they're going to get stronger every time. So every time you continue to make the same mistake, it gets worse and worse for you. And you're just digging yourself a hole. So acknowledge the lesson. The mistake is the lesson, right? The error that you made is the mistake. What can we do? What action can we take so that mistake doesn't happen again? What can we do so we don't do the same thing over and over? And sometimes, dealing with relationships, people, sometimes you have to remove yourself out of the environment, right? Whatever that means. And like I said, some things are not just easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Some things are going to be hard. You're going to have to really probably uproot your whole life if you have to remove yourself, out of a situation possibly. But if it's a relationship that's no longer serving you purpose, So these things that are coming up, they're very deep things. They're very life changing events that are going to happen. And, you know, the decision that you make, the actions that you take are going to determine, how successful you're going to be in your manifestation, how successful you are in completing your goals and getting on the path, getting on the right path to where you want to be. Right. And so understand that you might have to remove yourself out of environments and it's going to be tough. But you have to do it, and you will figure out how to do it once you take action. This is confirmation. Like I said, if you're here or you're on a replay, somebody has to get out of somewhere. I just really feel that strongly in my stomach. They're just really not in a good situation, and they feel like there's no way out. But there is. You just have to take action, just one small step, and it's going to change your life forever, right? And we have Taurus and Leo on here. So Taurus represents being patient. It's a lot different from the Ram energy. The Ram is taking action and just doing things without thinking. Taurus is patient. It's patient. It's observing. It's analyzing. It's allowing things to happen before we respond. And that's going to be very important, especially if you're in a situation, whether it be domestic, hostile, just a really negative, low frequency, low vibration situation. You're going to have to make moves based on what's going on around you. And that's also feminine energy. Feminine energy is observing and then reacting after the fact. Masculine energy is just doing without analyzing, without thinking, right? And so we really need to be in our feminine energy right now in order to come up with a plan, in order to gain clarity for whatever situation it is that you have to get out of it. Maybe it's work. Maybe you're feeling like you're stuck at work. Your boss, people want to the reason why people quit their jobs is because of their boss. Maybe you've got a bad, angry boss and you feel like you really can't express yourself, or if you do this, you feel sabotaged, set up. Whatever the situation is, just really sit back and just observe. See what's really going on around you. Why are people acting in the way they are? And 9 times out of 10, when you get negative reactions from people, it's out of fear. They're fearing something, and it's definitely about you. You don't even know because you're insecure. There's no self-validation, no self-love going on, no self-caring for yourself. So you're not even recognizing the threat that you are to people. You're a threat to a lot of people, and you're just existing. You're not even doing anything. You're not even trying to be just the light that God made you. You're a threat by just your existence. And sometimes it's hard to deal with, but people respond to you, right? If their light is strong or if their light is weak, if they feel threatened, they're going to respond accordingly. So you continue to be you. You focus on you, right? Um, that's where the Leo comes in on this card. Leo is about independence. It's that feline energy. Again, that feminine energy. Leo is about being independent, right? Understanding, creating boundaries and maintaining those boundaries with everybody. Work, home, romantic relationships. Leo lions, they guard their territory. They guard their loved ones. They protect. So understand that maybe there's issues of boundaries not being respected by you or other people around you. Maybe you don't feel protected where you're at. And so when you don't feel protected, we've got what Sigmund Freud's hierarchy of needs, on the basis, the first level of that hierarchy of needs is being protected and eating, and being out of the weather, the inclements of the weather and stuff like that. So there's certain things that you have to secure in order for you to even move into a process of creativity or just, being able to focus. Trying to secure safety and food and all of those things, they exude a lot of energy. That's why poor people are always sad and tired. You know, when when I wasn't making the money I was making, I was always tired and sad and working overtime to try to make money until I realized that money was an energy and I shifted. And now I'm not stressed or whatever. That's a whole nother discussion. But um, boundaries, boundaries. We need boundaries. Respect people's boundaries. Maintain your boundaries. Just be a little bit more territorial about you, uh, your safety, self-love. What you say to yourself, how you speak to yourself, the environment you're in. You're going to really have to dominate and be very protective of you and your environment. All right, that's going to be important. And this is why you can't level up, because you keep allowing people to disrespect you. You keep allowing people to cross boundaries that you've asked them not to. And it could be also vice versa. Maybe you're disrespecting other people's boundaries. Maybe you're not listening to things that people have asked you not to do time and time again. So there's just something with boundaries not being respected. Territorial issues. Definitely respect comes up. And this is in all aspects: romantic, work, friendships, parent, siblings, sons, daughters. Like, there's a respect factor not being given either by you or by the other person. So just take a look at it on both perspectives. And so this is the only way that we're going to level up. So just to recap on these three cards, you've got King of Swords, Knight of Cups reversed, and the Universe reversed. And it's telling us that all this, the spiritual development, all this healing that we've been doing, there's still more. We need to release. We need to continue to release things that no longer serve its purpose. Emotions especially. Stop letting people gaslight you. You stop putting expectations on you. If you don't expect anything, you can't get disappointed. And I know that's a crazy take for some people, but stop placing expectations on people that cannot do anything for you. The King of Swords touched on that. Nobody's capable of helping you because nobody's built the way that you are. Your frequency and your vibration is high. So others around you can't match your frequency. Therefore, stop asking these people for support that they cannot give you. The only support you can get right now is from your spiritual team and your higher self. That's it. That's it. Right? Continue to learn. Continue to learn from the mistakes that you made. Right? The mistakes that you keep repeating, look at those mistakes and say, what can I do different? What can I do different this go around? And then do something different for a change. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, that's called crazy. And I'm tired of being perceived as crazy. I don't want to keep doing the same things over and over again that is not serving me no bit of purpose. It don't make any sense. It makes not one bit of sense. At some point, you're going to get tired. And if you don't, then I don't know. Maybe it wasn't meant to be in this lifetime for you to really pursue whatever it is your soul's purpose is. The more we grow, the more we just fine tuning and we're just digging deeper into what our soul's purpose is. So I've pulled two goddess guidance cards to go with this message under the waning moon in Aries. The first goddess is Isolde, and she said it's representing undying love. And she says the love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. So I know a lot of us, this is definitely applying to romantic situations, wish that we could unfuck somebody. You know what I mean? We wish we could unswallow, like Kanye West say. We wish that literally that ex that we had just did not exist. And it happened. It happened. And love is eternal. There was a reason why you loved that person. What was it in them that you loved about them? And whatever you saw in them, it's in you. So stop disrespecting that relationship. It may not have worked out, but you was with that person for whatever reason, good or bad. So let's look at why you got that love feeling from that person. What made you love that person? Look at those things, and in those things you're going to see yourself. Also look at the negative things. Why did you break up with that person? And in those things you might see yourself as well. Okay. Another goddess guidance card is Isis. Past life. This situation involves your past life memories. So just understand that sometimes issues that we deal with are things that spill over from our past lives. I don't know how many of you here now or in the replay believe in reincarnation. I most certainly do. And I definitely feel like there are situations that you were in, a way of living, whatever societal structure in your past lives. And a lot of good and bad things spilled over into your present life. And sometimes we have relationships, especially. We think that, oh, they're our soulmate or our twin flame. And it's really a toxic ass relationship that you just can't get out of. And it's been going on for freaking lifetimes for several of them. You feel me? And so I actually have a resource for that: energy cord cutting. We be tied to people in throughout reincarnation as well. And that's why you get around somebody and you just feel like you know them. Like, why are you so comfortable around this person? I just literally met you. but yet I could tell you everything and I just feel like I just know you. And that's because you do. You do, and you have. In a different lifetime, y'all have been together. Maybe under a different situation, but nonetheless, that love does not go away. It moves through lifetimes, literally. So understand that and stop beating yourself up, about a lot of the things that you're going through. You may be suffering from generational curses, you know, things from past lives. Things, sometimes the issues that we deal with, they're in our DNA. It's genetic too. And so you shift that through changing your mind, reprogramming your mind, right? So that's just something really interesting that we need to work on. So under the waning moon in Aries, we need to release generational curses. We need to release habits, patterns, behaviors, relationship, and environments that we just continue to frequent throughout lifetimes and reincarnations, which is really interesting. Let's see, self-care card. Let's see what we can do for self-care. All right, we've got beauty ritual. And so this is for my fellas too. You can definitely have your own beauty regime. Guys who have beards, get your little beard shampoo, your beard oil, get your little beard brush, groom. Men, go get a pedicure. Please clip them toes, get them corns done, get that extra skin off. Go get a manicure, but don't get no nail polish on. You don't have to get clear. You can tell them at the nail salon that you want to get a manicure, but you don't want to get clear on them as a man. So there's no reason, man or woman, for you not to have a beauty ritual. That's all a part of self-love, self-care, making yourself feel good about yourself. If you're not spending time on yourself, why would anybody else spend time on you? Just think about that. Think about the things that you invest in to make yourself who you are. And so if you don't invest anything into yourself, why would you want somebody else to invest in you? All right. I have a lot of people, they love asking relationship questions. And it's just like, look, things aren't working out right now because you ain't focused on you. Your vibration, your energy ain't right. And you're attracting exactly what you're getting right now because of the energy that you currently have. And people don't understand that. Even women in domestic relationships, like, these people are attracted to that energy. They understand, they smell the vulnerability, they smell the insecurity, the lack of self-love, self-esteem, for whatever reason, whether it be childhood abuse, whatever. And that's why we needed to work on these things, because it's energy vampires out there, and they will mask it in the illusion of love. And so just think about that. How much time do you invest in your beauty regime? How do you wash your face? You just throw water on it? What kind of soap are you using? You don't have to spend $1 billion on soap, but we know a lot of these products are not good. I used to make my own products and sell them at some point. I wish I had the time to now, but like, what kind of food are you eating? Are you eating fast food all the time? Are you eating quality food when you go out to eat? Are you making sure you're getting vegetables, good meat, fruit, you know, or are you just going to McDonald's and getting that burger that's 450 calories and then the fries? You eat a whole meal and that's your daily calorie intake for the day. One McDonald's meal is your whole daily intake for the day. And then we wonder why we can't think straight, why we not getting proper rest, because your body isn't even getting the right things that it needs to feed the cells on a cellular level, right? So how deep is your beauty ritual, if you even have one? How much time are you investing in yourself? What are you investing in yourself? The quality of the products and the resources that you utilize in your everyday living, how do they look? And then think about all of that, and then think about how people perceive you. And then you'll see why people perceive you in the way that you do. Women, I have a lot of different opinions and ideologies than the general public. This whole slut walk thing that Amber Rose started. Like, I have two daughters. I'll be damned if I'm gonna have my daughters call themselves sluts and I'm going outside with their titties out and their ass out and then demand that men respect them when men are visual beings. We're animals. We're all animals. So I just look at things differently. But I do know that when I go out, because I go out and I go to the clubs, so when I wear little skirts and dress a certain way, different type of men approach me. When I dress professionally, different type of men approach me. So just understand that things that you do and what you invest in and how you present yourself does dictate people's perceptions, whether cancel culture or any other, the hive mind, the internet, no matter what they want to try to make you think. It's my right. I can have my titties out in your face and don't expect you to hurt me. Okay, I mean, we all know that there's a certain level of composure that somebody's supposed to have, but not all men have that. And there are men that don't have the discipline and the will, and they will rape you or do something to you. So why even gamble with that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging. I'm just throwing out certain perspectives because that's a really strong one that brings a really strong visual when I talk about women and things that they wear and then how they want to be perceived. And then sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm in school for my doctorate degree. I'm a nerd. I don't go out anywhere. But, I've literally had people call me sluts and whores just for an outfit. It's just a different perspective. Like, just think about your actions, the things that you do, the things that you say, that you invest in to represent yourself, that it does give a perception. Now, you can't control what other people think about you, but you can definitely uh, control what you put out there for people to view. So just remember that. So that beauty, this all, I digressed from this card, the beauty ritual. But beauty ritual, how much time are you investing in yourself, taking care of yourself, the energy you put into yourself? All right, what you put into yourself, others will see, and they'll want to invest in you too. They're not going to want to see you as an investment if you're not doing anything for yourself. The next one is clear your energy field. It's really important right now. You're going through really trying times right now. There's a lot of obstacles and challenges that have come up, right? But with that full moon in Capricorn, we understood that tough cycle, that rough cycle is over. Right. And so with that being said, we don't want any of that old stagnant energy to follow us, while we're transitioning. Right. So the full moon in Capricorn was the end of a tough cycle approaches. So with that being said, it's really imperative that you clear your energy field, spiritual bath. I told y'all I do the community money attraction and energy clearing free for 30 days. After that, it's 11/11. If you click in the chat, you'll see the link for it. Community money work is the first link. Okay, it's free for 30 days. Try it out. Try it out. Like I said, you can either do work alongside it, burn your own candle to go with mine, or you can just let me do the work for you. And I also do personal energy clearing too, not just community. I also do personal work. And if you're interested in highlights on the community work, you have to follow me on Instagram and add me as your close friends. That's where I show you updates of the candles that I'm burning for the community. Okay. So clearing your energy right now is definitely something that you're going to want to do. So I'm going to hold off. If anybody wants to speak or anything, I'm going to hold off until I'm almost done with this reading, okay? And then I'll open the floor up and I'll allow everybody to have the opportunity to be able to speak. But let me get through this. I'm almost done, okay? This is my Waning Moon and Aries reading, and we've really gotten into some things, right? This has been a really good reading so far. All right, so definitely clear your energy field. Make sure that you're preparing yourself for the things that you face every day. Spiritually, prepare yourself. Don't forget about the spiritual realm. We get so caught up in our day-to-day lives. We battle so much that we forget that we got a spiritual team, and then we forget that there's things that we can do spiritually to help us. So when we don't have to do this alone, okay? We do not have to do this alone. You need to understand that. All right, so I'm gonna pull two essential oil cards, and then after that, this is it. All right, so I've got this first essential oil card is um, Arbor Vitae. I've never heard of this essential oil before. It represents flow. And the trigger statement is, why are things such a struggle? I used to ask myself that all the time. Every time things came up, I got triggered and I automatically thought I had to struggle in order to come up out of it. So the true statement is, I am in the flow. Take a breath, dear one, and allow yourself to feel the flow of life through you. Release your need to do and just be. And so, what did I talk about earlier on in the reading about being in your feminine energy and just allowing the environment, responding to the environment instead of just being in action? That Aries, that Ram, just doing things. So, I'm going to read that again. Take a breath, dear one, and allow yourself to feel the flow of life through you. Release your need to do and just be. Sometimes there's nothing you can do but just stand there and be the calm in the midst of the storm. While all the chaos is happening, sometimes the only thing that you can do is just stand still. That's the best thing to do at that time. And that's being in the flow, allowing things to happen. Stop trying to make things happen. Organic. Stop trying to make things happen. Stop trying to force things in relationships, at work. You want your boss to see how great you are? What are you doing to show him? Right? You want your employees to think that you're a good boss. What are you doing to show them that you're a good boss? What are you doing to show your kids that you're a good parent? Your parents that you're a good child? Your partner that you're a good partner? Your friend that you're a good friend? What are you doing? So just live in the moment. Just be. Stop trying to make things happen. Stop trying to force things. Just do what you do. Work on yourself, and everything will fall into line. Synchronicity. Everything will align. I assure you it will, as long as you believe. The next essential oil is grounding. It's blended. It doesn't really have a specific smell, and it represents being rooted. The trigger statement is, I am somewhere else, trying to run away, especially in your mind. The true statement is, right here, right now, everything is perfect. Allow your energy to shift to the material plane where it is needed to help you complete what you have set out to do. I talked about action, right? And so this is just confirming for us the message of the waning moon in Aries. We need to complete the actions that we need to complete is working on releasing these things that don't serve us no purpose. People, places, things, habits, patterns, ideas, ideologies that just don't align with what we're trying to do. And so the trigger statement is, I'm somewhere else. When things go bad, I want to run away. I don't want to stay and deal with this shit. I want to run away. I want to get the fuck away. When my kids is getting on my nerves, when my husband's getting on my nerves, I'm speaking very candid right now. I got to be honest. My boss is getting on my nerves at work. These fucking teachers at school. This one last semester, it was okay for me to do this. This semester, teachers want to switch stuff up, and that becomes frustrating. And I just want to run away, and I just want to escape. But that's a trigger. What is triggering me? The challenge, because I'm afraid that I can't do it. I'm afraid that I don't have the strength to continue. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you do have the strength to continue. So whenever you feel triggered, whenever you want to run away from something, you need to tell yourself that this is the moment. This is your movie. You're the character. This is a pinnacle. This is where it shifts for you. This is your moment where you get to decide what action to take and what to do. Think of it as a movie. The main character, when they're presented with that dilemma in that situation, and we're like, nah, man, don't run away. Just do this. We need to be saying the same things to ourselves regarding our story and us being the main character in our movie. No, we're going to stay here. This challenge is here for a reason because we're meant to overcome it and so that we can talk about it and it can be an example for others that went through the same thing. Every last bit of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it is meant to happen. And you can get what you want in life. You can manifest what you want. You can create your story by taking action, by focusing on yourself and then taking action towards the things that you need to do. And stop victim blaming, stop blaming others for why your life didn't turn out the way it is. None of us has to be here, but we damn sure can take our power and create our own story and our own journey. Think about the people that have no arms and legs. All those YouTube channels and videos I watch of people just doing phenomenal things. People can't speak English. People don't even have materials and they're building pools and all types of shit. Shoes out of tires? In Africa, I seen this video. They making shoes out of tires, y'all. Like, come on, anything is possible. It's limitless. The resources, your tools, your strength, and your power, but you have to understand that. And so Waning Moon in Aries is representative. We'll be able to understand that once we continue to release these things that just don't align with us. All right. So let me take some pictures of these cards real quick and let me take a few pictures. So I just want us to kind of focus on the reading that we just had, right? I just want us to kind of reflect on the information that was just given to us. Myself too, because just because, I do the reading don't mean for sure that, the things that I hear don't conflict or I've got work to do. There's definitely things that come up for me that I know that I have to do in order for me to move forward in my journey, right? And so that's important. Um, so, yeah. So at this point, that reading is over. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know. Feel free to, if you want to comment on the things that resonated for you. Maybe something didn't resonate. Maybe there was something that you didn't know, or this was confirmation. Maybe you had a situation or experience before you hopped on this reading, and maybe it all came out. That happens sometimes. Um, so we just take a minute, if you want to, just kind of reflect and talk about that reading. Uh, you're free to do so. Let me put in here end of waning moon in Aries. And now I'm currently open for free readings.
Hi.
Hello, Mildred.
Okay. Yes, Mildred.
So how you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see that you were pretty much here for the entirety of that reading. So
Yeah.
did,
Yeah. I
did
love
it
every bit of
resonate? How
it.
you feeling about it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it resonated a whole lot. Right. So basically, before you went into the actual reading, you did say something about Aries being so head on, and doing the most, being too loyal and stuff like that. And I think I really resonate. I think I really resonate with that. And literally every other thing you said, it's so incredible. I felt like somewhat you were reading my life or something, and I can totally relate to everything you're talking about, career wise, relationships, family, literally everything.
That's
Everything.
amazing.
So
That's
I'm really
amazing.
grateful for that.
That's awesome. And so I really tell people because I'm kind of coming up. I've been doing this for a little bit socially since what 2016 as far as social media. And if anybody connects with me or resonate with my reading, you're a different type of person anyway. But I really feel like your ancestors and your spirit guides made this happen, that connection. So I really appreciate your support, and I'm very glad that the reading resonated with you. And I hope that this is going to be on a replay. So, use it to kind of help guide you moving forward. So I'm definitely open to give you a free reading. So just let
I'd
me know
love
what's
that.
going on. What do you want, a general
Yes.
reading, or do you have a specific question?
Hmm. I think I want a general reading.
Okay, cool. So in my general readings, I'm gonna pull three cards, tarot
Okay,
cards.
sorry. Hi, sorry. I think maybe I should rephrase because I just remembered I actually do have a problem and I feel like I can talk to you about it.
Okay, yeah. So go
So,
ahead. No
um,
worries.
Actually realized recently that, right, because I'm currently in therapy, and you know I'm going through the whole process and everything, and I'm actually realizing that I have a pattern of attracting men who need help. Right,
Right.
there's something, I don't know what it is about me, but that people come to me like when they need help, and then when they're healed and they're okay and they're fulfilled, they just walk out, like, and it keeps happening over and over again, and it's a pattern, and I'm just really worried about it. Like, what exactly is it about me that I keep attracting people who need my help, right? Who need to feed off my energy and who need to feed off from me, and it's just I'm just can you tell me anything about that?
So that's interesting. That's a really great observation about yourself. Because a lot of people don't want to be accountable and they don't want to recognize their faults. And recognizing your faults is one of the greatest things that you can do. People think that they should feel shame and feel guilt for recognizing our weaknesses, but because a society and the way how we're built, we're supposed to, like, not acknowledge our faults and just pass over it and only focus on the great things. It's really important, and it tells what kind of strong mind that you have, and how self-aware you are of recognizing that pattern. And so, just kind of what I talked about, I'm currently shuffling my cards right now, but just kind of expounding on what I said about your energy and your frequency and about investing into yourself. And so, there's something that you're lacking, and this can be twofold. They're energy vampires, so they're aware that you're lacking certain things, so they want to come in to use you and to manipulate and control, right? And then also, on another perspective, your vibe is your tribe. So, you're attracting people that need help because you need help. You know what I mean? You may not be reaching out in the manner that they are, the way they are, but you are using the same energy but in a different situation. So let's kind of keep that in mind too. All right, so let me continue to shuffle. Oh, man, some cards going everywhere. Okay, interesting. All right, so I have the Queen of Pentacles, I've got Princess of Swords, and then I've got the Moon reversed. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles has got Sagittarius and Capricorn on this card. Again, it kind of focuses on you. It focuses on you. Or if we want to look at this from a different perspective, the court cards represent people. And so this is telling me a story also, because I have two people here. I have Queen of Pentacles, I have the Queen, and then I have a Princess. And then I have the Moon. So the Moon deals with secrets. It deals with things not being revealed or should be revealed under the illumination of the moon. So I feel like this is a situation. It could be between mother and daughter. Maybe there are some things that happen in your childhood between you and your mom. Maybe you can't think of it right now subconsciously. Maybe you've pushed it back, but there's definitely something that took place in your childhood, a moment or maybe many moments between you and mom where it has allowed you to feel the need to help people. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your mom, if there was any, or any type of the maternal figure in your life who raised you. Um, very strong, but there's something that you're not addressing that you don't want to deal with. And so once you address that issue, because the moon card is reversed, and so there's something that you don't want to look at. And this could be um, part of why it is that you attract these people. So definitely some childhood healing, which we always have that. um, but yeah, so if that's an actual people situation, it's definitely a mother daughter childhood thing. Or the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. Again, it's about taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. The Queen. The Queen is to be praised, right? She is to be revered. She is not to do no work. She is to do little. She is to use her mind, right? She is helps bring hope to everybody. And so you can't do any of these things because you're not taking care of yourself. That goes back to that card that I pulled earlier in the reading, beauty ritual, just kind of investing in yourself, taking the time to uh, just do things a little bit different when it comes to yourself. Maybe you're putting off a certain perception, or and you don't even realize it. Look back, analyze yourself, your interactions, past relationships. What did they say about you? What drew you to them? When they was angry, what are the things they said about you? They just go back and look at everything and your interactions in your relationships, right? And then make a list of all the good encounters, good interactions, good habits and things that you did in that relationship, and then look at the bad things. And you want to do that for yourself, and you want to do that for all of your exes. And then look at the reoccurring theme that you've heard exes say. Look at the reoccurring negative patterns that you've given off, or that they've given off. So you kind of, just like I said, is just being more self-aware, doing research on yourself, learning yourself more, and that's going to allow you to understand why these certain type of men are attracted to you, right? And then we've got Princess of Swords. So I feel like you don't tell people what you want up front because you're scared to, because maybe you don't want to be alone, you don't want to be by yourself, so you don't really put out there what you want. And so that's not a good thing. When it comes to men, you have to let men know what you want. You have to put it out there, because if you're not clear and you don't tell them, and I really don't want to say men, but we are talking about this because that could be anybody. But people will try to manipulate, right? People will try to manipulate. So really, you should only be dealing with people who want what you want. If you want to be married and you want to have a family, why are you dealing with a man who don't want to be married? Who don't want no kids? So there's just certain things when you're dating and when you're meeting men that you're gonna have to come off and let them know for the rip. And that's gonna drive away the people who don't want to be around, and the people that do want to stick around are going to stick around. But you're not going to know that until you start asking these questions, right? So don't be afraid, um, to kind of on a date, like, hey, just some questions I want to ask. um, that's going to let me know whether we're good for each other. It's going to be a good connection. There's ways to say things. I really want to get to know you more. I'm really interested in learning more about you, but there's some things where I'm at in my life where I just know what I want in a relationship or from something else. And maybe at this point in my life, I want to be married. I'm not looking to just continue to, date for long periods of time. I want to be married within the next year, like really set down specifics. I want 2 kids. I'm okay with being a stepmom. I don't know, but just make things clear. I don't want to have sex on the first date. I don't know. Make things clear. Make things clear. Um, but just understand, you're going to have to understand things about yourself too. Like, what do you bring to the table? And that's a question that a lot of women don't like to ask themselves. What am I bringing to the table when it comes as far as relationships? Do you want a traditional relationship? Do you want a non-traditional relationship? So these are the questions that you're going to have to come with. So no longer can you start, continue to date men and don't be vocal about what you want. And so that leaves confusion to them. And then they're going to do whatever it is that they feel like they can do because you've not set any boundaries. You've not made anything clear. Okay. So just work on being clear with what you want, specifics about what you're looking for in a relationship when you date. And then the moon card, as I talked about earlier, the moon is representative of secrets, So I feel like you carry guilt and shame. And I feel like whatever happened to you in your past, that's in your closet. Everybody got skeletons in their closet. But I feel like you think that you don't deserve the type of person that you want because of your past. And so you've got a lot of shadow work to do. You've got to release guilt. You've got to release shame. You've got to apologize to yourself for allowing others to take advantage of you. But now you know. And so you have to apologize to yourself. You can't forgive anybody until you forgive yourself. Well, apologize to yourself. I don't even think you know how to apologize to anybody. And if you've never apologized to anybody, it's because you've never apologized to yourself. Anything and everything that you want to do for somebody else, you have to do it for yourself first. Okay? So nobody's perfect. Everybody has baggage, you know? Everybody has baggage. When that time comes to air that baggage out is going to determine whether y'all want to, continue to be with each other. But nonetheless, stop allowing your past, the things that you did to other people that you dare wouldn't do now, you wouldn't even do it now. We can't control what we've done in the past. We can only control the present. And I feel like whatever it is that you're ashamed of, you wouldn't have done that now. You're not that person. So apologize to yourself and then forgive yourself because you've grown and you've learned. And then work on the spirit of guilt and shame and know that you're deserving of a good man. You don't need somebody who's going to talk to you a certain way or treat you a certain way, or not want to do things for you or protect you. But you've got to feel like you deserve that. So that's another reason why you're attracting these people, because you don't feel like you can get anything better. And that's something that you're going to have to work on subconsciously. You are most certainly deserving of any and everything that you want. And you are to be treated in a certain manner. You're a woman, and women are to be protected by men. And you can get that same protection. You can get men to care for you and make sure you're okay and make you feel secure and safe. But you've got a lot of guilt and shame that you have to release, and a lot of apologizing and forgiving to yourself and then to other people. Let me pull a self care card. This is connect with your womb. Now, I have no idea why I pulled this card. I really can't gauge. Um, I don't know. Maybe just I could break it down to pattern cycles. Pay attention to your cycle. The moon card did come up in your reading, and now we have something talking about connecting with your womb, your period, your cycle. Um, our cycles are in connection with the moon, and so I feel like even though you're Aries, you might have a lot of Pisces in your chart, or just a lot of water in your chart. I don't know if you're familiar with your birth chart, but
No, I'm not.
okay, yeah. So I would definitely try to get familiar with your birth chart. You can Google it. How do I find my birth chart? You just need your the time you were born, the time and the place and the date. If you have all of that, if you don't have the time, it's okay. Whatever you have, if you just put it on one of those free websites that give you a birth chart, natal chart, it'll show you all the planets and everything that was in alignment when you were born, and you'll know your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, and all that stuff. So just kind of get more familiar with who you are. You've got a lot of self discovery that you've got to go through, and just continue to monitor yourself around the moon and around your cycle. Just get really emotional, go through some things. So just kind of be aware of that. Um, and then let me see, let me pull a soul card, soul's journey. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And with that being said, you cannot change other people. You can't make people do what you want to do. You can't make people say the things that you want them to say. The only thing that you can control is you. And, overall, if you just work on yourself, worked on these things that we talked about, you're definitely going to um, reflect or, attract the men that you're desiring. And so the men that you're attracting right now, that we talked about, is as a result of all these things in this reading. So let me know if that resonated. And do you have a follow up question about any of the cards that I pulled?
Oh, yes, that resonates perfectly well. Thank you so much. No, I don't have any questions.
All right, you're most welcome. Most welcome. Um, Miss Makeup, Sharonized Makeup, would you like a reading? Are you still here? Let me know if you'd be interested in a reading. I'm gonna see. Let me see. So, just give it a few more minutes. Let's see what card I want to leave off with. I'm gonna end this reading, Waning Moon and Aries, with a card. Let me see. Let me see. This was fun. I might be back later too. Definitely, I might be back later. Um, I'll do another soul card. I'll do two. Okay. All right. So I picked two soul cards, and the first one is courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Right. So the last reading I did, we talked about how we had to do things. Right. And they were going to be uncomfortable, and so I'm reminding us, and the spirit is reminding us to have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay. And the next card is service. I feel good when I can help others. I feel good when I can help others. When you are at service to other people, especially in a career path, or a career field, or just personally, just doing things and helping people that reciprocate that energy and that appreciate it and that benefit from it, is a rewarding feeling. Just so remember to just be of service to people, and let's try to be of service to people that can't repay it back in a good way. Not toxic hurting people, but like people who actually need help, and that it'll change their life if you do some type of act of service and help them. Okay, so that's why I do these readings. I've had people tell me time and time again that you know they've implemented things and they've helped. So I'm just doing my part, and it makes me really feel good, um, to just play my part in this collective consciousness. Okay, so this concludes in entirety the waning moon in Aries. I appreciate everybody that took the time to sit here, and I'll appreciate everybody who's going to listen to this on a replay. Please make sure that you share the room, share these readings. I'm going to download this and put this on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. I do readings over there too. And I also do celebrity psychic tarot readings. And if you're interested, hit me up on YouTube, leave a comment, and let me know what celebrity you'd like me to do a reading on. And I also have products and services that support personal empowerment, motivation, um, self love, self care, shadow work, shadow integration, healing your shadow. So if you're ever interested in any of my products or you want to know more, let me know. Today is going to be the last day that I'm going to be doing any paid for readings. I have school and I've got to focus. I'm halfway through my PhD. And so I was doing 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 100 minutes. So currently I'm not taking any readings at this time. So if you want readings, it's going to have to be here. If I'm not doing free readings, I'll be doing donation based readings, right? So it'll only be on social platforms right now. Um, Click the link in my bio. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Follow me on all my platforms, right? If you're a creator, I do free promo and I do paid promo. Just to throw that out there too. And like I said, I do community money attraction. I also have money attraction soap. Okay, so make sure y'all Google me. I try to avoid the readings with the replays on. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I don't know why, but yeah, I always leave my readings on replay so that people can go back and reflect. But I understand. Thanks for that perspective. Yeah, so I've got the cord cutting ritual that I talked about, um, and all of those things, to kind of help you out if you need a little bit more assistance and just kind of need some more direction, okay? So I really appreciate everybody here. And I hope to see you in the next room that I have, okay? I'll talk to you later. And I hope you make the most of your day, whatever that means for you.